Hey team, happy weekend. I just wanted to talk to you guys quickly about something that has been on my mind as I am setting goals for 2016. But that is having a vision and, creating your vision board, but also taking that a little bit further with visualization. So, you may not really have any idea what I'm talking about, but I'm going to try to explain. And the first thing is having a vision for your future, because we talk a lot about goals and we talk a lot about consistency and all these things, but the reality is if you don't have a really strong vision for your life and for what you are doing, you're just kind of always going to be shooting in the dark. You have to have a clear-cut idea of where you want to go if you want to achieve things. So knowing your destination is important. So if you really aren't sure, what you want to do with your Beachbody business or what you want to do with your life in general, it would be a great time for you to sit down and think about your crazy big dreams and what you would really like your life to look like in an ideal situation. What you would have, what it would feel like, what your day-to-day routine would be, who you would be, and feel it. What would it feel like to have a life like that? Your wildest dream life. And there's really a key to not only just having a vision board, which is important, like I've mentioned, but being able to visualize yourself and what it's going to feel like when you achieve the things that you put on your vision board. So, like I've mentioned to you before, I created a vision board not long after I started coaching, and I put a ton of stuff on there that I wanted to see happen. And I also told you last week that I have achieved every single thing on there except one, possibly two. It's kind of pending at the moment. But there is a real power to visualizing what you really want to achieve. And, putting it on a board and looking at it every day is great, but taking it a step further and visualizing those things happen makes it even more powerful. And this has been a game changer for me. And I also know that there is top coaches like Scotty Hobbs and Lindsay Stay that also very much practice visualization and preach about why it is so important and why it works. But for me, I have every single day for over a year and a half now, at some point during my day, whether it's when I first wake up in the morning or, maybe if Declan's napping or at night before I go to bed, I will close my eyes and visualize what it would feel like to have all of the things that I want to achieve or the goals that I want to have, or the goals that I have set. What would it feel like if I was able to, go to Declan's school events and not have to ask for permission for time off, which I will be doing that next week. So that is the power of visualization for you. But in the beginning I started thinking, what would it feel like if I could pay all of my bills with Beachbody income as a single mom, knowing that I have made that happen? What would it feel like going to bed at night without, a worry about how I was going to take care of us or how my health was, or if I was being a good example for my son. And, you can think about this in really any aspect of your life. So if it's, something, a goal that you set that you would like to be able to retire your spouse, close your eyes and think about what would it feel like to hug your spouse, and kiss them and tell them, baby, I'm bringing you home. How would your spouse react? What would you feel like? If one of your goals is to go part-time with your normal job and, be more full-time with Beachbody, what would it feel like if you told your boss, listen, I'm only going to work 2 or 3 days a week because I'm doing this Beachbody thing? What would that feel like to you? What would that moment look like to you? If one of your goals is to pay off debt or pay off a school loan, imagine yourself writing that check out and what it would feel like when you can send that in and know that you are not responsible to these people anymore, that is taken care of. What would it feel like if one of your goals is to be able to have more freedom to be present with your children? What would it feel like if you can go and sit on the bleachers at your kid's soccer game, or you can drive to one of their school functions and not have to worry about having that freedom to do so? Maybe you want to give back more in your community or make donations to a charity. What would it feel like if you were able to do those things without even thinking about them? And even more so than that, in your business, what would it feel like if you were to achieve the goals that you set? So maybe it's just, visualizing hitting Success Club every month and how incredible it's going to feel that you have helped 3 to 5 people. What is it going to feel like, if your goal is to be a 2-star diamond? Close your eyes and visualize. What is it? What are you going to write? What picture are you going to use when you announce your coach? How much pride are you going to feel for that accomplishment? How much excitement are you going to feel for them that they were able to reach a goal that they had set? And know what it really feels like. So what I'm getting at here is setting goals is not enough. Because visualization of yourself actually hitting those goals and knowing what it would feel like, whatever they may be in your life or your business, it could even be visualizing yourself at your goal weight, in your goal body, anything. But if you can imagine and close your eyes and think about what it's actually going to feel like when you achieve those things, it makes them so much more powerful, because it really, ignites that internal motivation that you have within. And we talk a lot about being self-motivated, but there's a lot more to it than just reading personal development and setting goals. You have to really, truly believe that you are capable of achieving absolutely anything that you want to achieve. But it first starts with believing it, and visualizing what it would feel like when you make those things happen. And more so than that, when you're visualizing your goals, it really puts the law of attraction in motion in your favor. And if you don't know much about that, you can go read about it or watch The Secret. But I know for me, I can look back, and in a lot of my life, I didn't pay attention to that I was manifesting things into my life that I didn't want to be there, because that was what I focused on all the time. I focused on the fact that I struggled. I focused on the fact that I was a failure. I focused on the fact that, life just always handed me a tough card. Once I started realizing that I was making that happen more in my life by focusing on it, I started to focus on abundance and health and happiness and positivity and success and deep connections with friends and relationships. I started focusing my energy on the things that I really wanted to see happening, and funny enough, that's what starts happening. And more so than that, it just kind of activates your self-conscious, so that when you have your eye set on something that you want to achieve so much, that literally your brain is always on the lookout for opportunities of helping people, of finding people that are going to help you get there, of looking for opportunities instead of obstacles. Everything starts to kind of align to open up the doors for you to make these things happen. But it first has to start with you, A, knowing your vision and knowing where you want to go, and B, believing that it is actually possible for you. So, like I said, my call to action for you this weekend is to make a vision board and put your biggest, craziest, wildest, most amazing, dreams and goals on this board. Things that you just would absolutely be in awe of how incredible your life was if you were to have those things. Anything you could possibly want, put it on there. And then I want I would encourage you to start taking, 5 to 10 minutes every day and sit down and close your eyes in a quiet space, wherever you're most comfortable, and start thinking about what it would feel like for you to achieve those things, down to every single detail that you could possibly think of. Just for example, if, one of your goals is to be an elite coach for next year, let's just say that. What is it going to feel like when you go to Summit and you go to rehearsals and you walk across the stage? What are you wearing? How much pride are you going to feel for your team and your coaches that have helped that goal become a reality? How are you going to feel as a leader, knowing that you making a decision to start as a coach has now impacted hundreds, if not thousands, of lives? Whatever it is, the more detail that you can get about this, the better. I've heard some coaches say, like, I wanted to buy a dream car, so I used to close my eyes and envision myself buckling myself in the car seat and putting on my sunglasses and putting my hands on the steering wheel and driving off the lot. The more detailed, like I said, that you can get about visualizing what you want to come true, the more powerful that it is going to be for you, and the deeper your internal motivation is going to be to push you towards those goals. So dream crazy big, guys, for 2016. There's a new, fresh year on the horizon, and you are capable of achieving absolutely anything that you want to. But it first starts with you believing it. So I would love, when you finish your vision board, if you could post it to the team page and share some of your crazy big goals for 2016. And if you need help goal setting, we're going to cover that later in this week as well. So just put those crazy big dreams and goals out there, and then we will figure out how to reverse engineer a plan for you to get to them. But I hope this makes you think, and I hope that you don't think I'm too crazy and that you actually try it, because I promise it will make a big, huge difference for you guys. So happy Saturday. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.